and thought leadership to you, because without C-Event today, this event will be all the harder. Felicia, please.
Hello. This is very strange, being in a real live environment. I know it's probably our last hurrah for at least a month, but it's amazing to be together, spaced out as you are. And I just want to start by congratulating you and saying, well done. You've done a wonderful job, that out of hundreds of candidates and submissions that came in, that you are the cream of the crop, the top of the top, the chosen ones. And it's a very unique experience to be in this position this year because of the situation we're in. And you've risen to the top despite all the challenges. So that's amazing. And I would say my words of encouragement are to take advantage of this opportunity. I see on social media and in so many different places, people obviously are going through really tough times. Some people have lost their jobs, some people's companies have closed down, and that is negative. But there is a positive and there is a silver lining. And we were talking about this just upstairs, that there are opportunities to come out of this moment, and you're part of that. And you've risen to the top within this tough time. And that means that you can take advantage of those opportunities. And I would say shout about it, rave about it, put it on social media that you've done this, that you've achieved this, and that you're going to do more and more and more and more as the year goes into next year and we can maybe get back. And be innovative. Take this moment to actually say, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to do something different. And yes, we've all gone virtual, but what have you done with that? What's going to make you stand out? Because when we all do return to whatever it is, you want to be that group of people that say, look what I did and look what I can bring to the table as things go back to being in person. You know, I can do things a bit differently. So I think that's amazing. I think you should stay connected as well with each other. So take advantage of it, connect and stay connected. We shameless plug. We run C-Event Connect at C-Event, and it is a lot about education and staying connected with each other and utilizing each other to make sure that we can drive the industry forward. So that's my message for you. Stay connected to me if you want. We've always got opportunities for people to be speakers, whether it's on webinars. If we get together, we can co-write blogs for each other and just stay connected. It's how this industry grows. It's how we thrive. You'll get to know that everybody knows each other. By the time you've been in this industry for about 10 years, you'll start to know absolutely everybody that you meet at all the events. So do take advantage of it, and well done again. Congratulations.
Thank you, Felicia. That was pretty much on the money. You stole most of my speech, to be honest. My presence here is just academic, really. Okay, folks, so let's just have a quick recap about where we were. And it's quite mad to think that it was only back in mid-March that many of us were here at the Odeon for the pre-reception for the Conference News Agency Awards, which we held over the road at Café de Paris. And it almost beggars belief that here we are in November on the eve of yet another lockdown. The situation's still no clearer when it's going to come to an end. So that, by the power of deduction, tells us that 2020 has been a bit of a stinker. There's no papering over or glossing over the fact that many of your peers and colleagues may have lost their jobs and businesses have gone to the wall, and it is undeniably very sad time. But we are really at the bottom of this trough, and the one guarantee is that experiences will come back. The only way is up from here, and that is where you guys come in. The industry may be very well on its knees, but that is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for everyone in this room and joining us online to build back better. I didn't coin that hashtag, but I'm stealing it. Building back better. There are so many parts of our industry that have been on the agenda for a couple of years that haven't really perhaps broken through into the mainstream in the way that maybe some of us would have hoped they would. Matters of sustainability, for example, diversity and inclusion. We've been discussing these subjects for a few years, but now is the time where we can implement them. We are at a position now where we are at building block foundation. How do you want the industry to be? You might all be under 30 now, but you won't be forever. You are going to be the future leaders of this industry. And the responsibility is going to be bestowed upon you and your peers to design this industry in the way that you want it. You don't have to accept the norm. So we're hoping that being part of the CN30 Under 30 will give you a platform from which you can build, from which you'll be taken seriously when you put your opinions and your ideas forward. It's really important that you don't waste that. Make sure it's obviously on your CV. Of course, none of you will be looking for other jobs. Let's make sure we do that disclaimer in front of any employers who are tuning in. But of course, it's going to matter when you get invited to round tables and discussions. You can use that as a springboard to elevate yourself. Your personal brand is going to matter. As Felicia said, it is really important that you put yourselves out there. Don't shy away from it. Okay, we all experience anxiety sometimes, and some of us suffer from imposter syndrome, and we feel nervous about speaking up. It doesn't have to be that way. Take it from me. I speak to people all the time from every different corner of the events industry. It is really up to you. Put yourselves forward. If there's a panel session happening at an event, say, for example, like International Convex, and you don't think that maybe the panel session is diverse enough, or you don't think that it has got the right expertise on it, or you think you can bring something to it, put yourself forward. If there isn't a session on a subject that you think there should be, put yourself forward. Get in touch with me. Is there something in the magazine that I haven't covered that I need to be? Drop me an email. Don't just sit by and wait for other people to do it for you. Being part of the CN30 Under 30 means we're going to be drawing on you guys for experience and for roundtable discussions, for webinars, and all of that sort of stuff as well. Your opinions are going to matter, but don't just wait for us to invite you. Your personal brand matters, your opinions matter, your plans matter. So do seriously put yourself out there. Now, none of that was on my cards. I don't know where I am now. No, don't need that one. Have I done that one? Inspire? No, that sounds pretty vague. Yes, of course. Here we go. Here's a good one. Looking after talent. We did and ah about the CN30 Under 30 this year, thinking, oh, what are we going to do? You know, it's not so easy. Last year, we did a fantastic event at Cameron Hooper where we did cheese making, and it was all chaos and fun into the late hours, and many hangovers reported the following day. Of course, we would love to have done something like that this year, but the circumstances are against us. But look around, look where you are. We've still managed to put on a damn good show, and we're internally grateful to the Odeon in Leicester Square. I can't really think of a better location given the circumstances. These guys have been really supportive. But it's never been more important for us to recognise aspiring talent. I'm not going to say young, because that's patronising, and most of you will probably stay your old anyway, especially if you're approaching 30. But it's never been more important to give you guys the confidence and the platform that you need to spring yourselves forward to the next stop. Have I done that? Yeah, I've done that one. What's this one? I wrote this on the train on the way up today. Nah, it's rubbish, boring. Here we go, structure. Here's a good one. So when it comes to rebuilding the industry back better, it's, like I say, on its knees, and we can build back better. But we have to make sure we have a structure. Now, I've rambled to a few of you already today about some of the core administrative problems about why the events industry finds itself where it is. First of all, it's important, as CN30 is, that you guys are quoting the right numbers when people ask you about the industry. I'm sure you've all had it before. You say you work in events and people just assume you organise weddings and parties. Well, we all know that's a load of nonsense. There's so much more to it than that. You are part of a vital economic pillar. Now, you see the figure £70 billion in direct spend floating about the internet. That's events as a whole. We now say £84 billion because we add weddings into that just to make our case stronger to government. That's worth £14 billion. So £84 billion is the official number, all encompassing. Conferences and meetings are worth £19 billion of that in direct spend to the UK every year. What you do matters. Let no one ever tell you otherwise. Trying to make the government see that is a much harder activity than one may have hoped. It is incredibly difficult. And that's because the events industry is not structured at an administrative level on that foundation. I won't bore you to death with SIC codes, Standardised Industrial Classification Codes, because I have got a feature in my most recent issue on Conference News about that. But there is a reason why our industry has almost been left behind, and that's because in the pure light of day, it is unstructured. It is too fragmented. So I need everyone to bear that in mind. When you're going forward, you need to work towards that structure. Okay, and I'm going to be involving you all in discussions about that in online webinars and in-person roundtables in the coming months, where I'll bring you up to speed a little bit more. But today is all about you, and it is now your responsibility to make sure that you inspire the next generation of young event professionals coming up behind you as well. They're going to be looking up to you. So don't shirk this responsibility. Don't take it lightly. It's not just a day in an email signature. This is recognizing your hard work and talent in what has been a ferocious year. The fact you're all here is fantastic. Please give yourselves a round of applause. Now, right, onto the firm business. So I need to quickly run through how this is going to work. Normally, there would be handshakes and cuddles and all sorts of mad things, but not this year, I'm afraid, given the circumstances. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go through everyone's name one by one with a little bit of a biography. You will applaud your fellow peers, and I'm going to ask you one at a time when I call your name to come up the steps to the stage over on that side, and you stand in front of the board on your left, the furthest one away. Don't touch the trophy. That's not yours. If you try to run off with that, there is security in the lobby. You will be tackled to the ground. We will make sure that you get your proper awards in due course. But don't touch that one. It's just for show. I have the comedic duty of walking over there after every time I call you and come back. Now, I did this on the EN30 earlier on, and it got quite awkward. So I try to make a different joke of it every time. I've asked for a zip wire, roller skates, a golf cart, an Uber, anything to get me across there. But I'm going to be pretty out of breath by the time we get to the end. So I'm just warning you in advance. Anyway, that is enough rambling from me. I'm now going to commence with the CN30 under 30 roll call, and I'm delighted to invite to the stage to get us going Amelia Brown, EVCOM, Marketing and Communications Executive. Well done, Amelia. Amelia is a fantastic marketing and communications professional with warmth, creativity and talent. She's consistently proposed creative ideas to drive the growth and strength of EVCOM members and the wider events community. Okay, so next up, wearing her mask to the stage on pain of death. A round of applause, please, for Amy Hewick from Hewick Events for the second time today. Man. So Amy's career highlights include the Aurora Spring Forum, quoted as the Davos of the energy industry, which is over 60 speakers, some of which are the major CEOs in the energy industry, and press attendance from some top journalists in Europe. But there was no invite for me. Okay, next, a round of applause, please, for Amy Ford, One Young World Summits Manager. Positioned in a demanding role as Summit Manager for One Young World, a preeminent forum for young leaders, Amy successfully attracted over 2,000 delegates from 196 countries and works with some of the world's high-end venues, such as the Peace Palace in The Hague to the Royal Albert Hall in London. Okay, next up, a round of applause, please, for Erica Osborne. Erica is the Corporate Access Logistics Coordinator. I don't know how you get that on a business card, for First Agency. Erica is a fantastic problem solver who's very client-centric and manages a large workload. Her dedication and hard work earned her a recent promotion from project support to corporate access logistics. She successfully developed a brand's new SOP and best practice guides for a new client platform utilized for virtual events. Next up, a round of applause, please, for the PR and campaign manager from Cheerful 21st. That is Georgia Cross. Well done, Georgia. Up to the stage. In the last 12 months, Georgia has managed an acquisition, a US market launch, and a company rebrand, all while managing COVID-19 internal and external communications. In addition, she's grown Cheerful 21st's online presence by an aggregate 115% and steered multiple CSR programs. And yet she still found time to come here today. Okay, next up, a round of applause, please, for Hannah Caldwell, Creative Engagement Company's Project Manager. Promoted from a delegate manager to a senior delegate manager to a project manager in just 2.5 years. Hannah is championing sustainability and well-being for client leadership meetings. She's also been successfully representing the agency at international industry events such as ITB Asia. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Jack Lee, Senior Account Manager at Clive. Jack has built a name for himself across the global agency by being the front runner in the transition to digital and supporting the agency internally and gaining clients such as Facebook. That is a big one. Jack frequently referred to as the agency's platform guru. Next up on our list, a round of applause, please, for Jade Clark, Telegraph Media Group's events executive. While successfully attaining her degree in events management, Jade was awarded the Academic Excellence Award and the Events Management Student of the Year Award for achieving the highest classification. She's also successfully planned, managed and executed over 30 events across B2C and B2B and progressed through 3 roles already. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Jessica Hebden, Project Manager at Amex and in brackets, Bank Sadler. Jessica is delivering virtual meetings from advisory boards, webinars from 50 to 30,000 people to medical training summits and internal global conferences with 2.5D, I don't know what that means, sorry, venues online and personalized avatars. She's pushing boundaries and really representing the excellence of Amex. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Joanne Whitson, Educational Collaborative of International Schools, Head of Events. Joanne is an outstanding leader of ECIS's events vertical, evidenced through managing an ECIS event. It included 40 sessions and speakers, 4 keynote speakers and 30 exhibitors, as well as enabling nearly 1,000 international school leaders to access their virtual conference. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Joseph Charlton, who is the Director of Events by Joseph. Joseph held 2 senior roles and has exceeded expectations in both. He's strong, confident, and a strategic leader who creates high-performing teams. And short biographies. A round of applause, please, for Katie Williamson, Project Manager at Ashfield Meetings and Events. An agile, dedicated, high achiever with a passion for learning, Katie has managed to run a vast range of online event formats, from pre-recordings for symposia, ad boards and webinars to full-service virtual conferences. Well done, Katia Moore. You're next up on stage. Special Events Manager at Clarion Gaming. Katia successfully manages conferences, award ceremonies, networking parties, meetings and social events while developing a customer experience team and acting as PA to the department's director. Katia can literally do it all. A round of applause, please, for Matilda Pitiera. Well done, Matilda. Matilda is the Business Education and Events Lead for SSA and DAC. Facebook, contracted by Career Moves. I don't, how you get all that on a business card, I have no idea. This year, Matilda has played a big part in supporting the company's shift from in-person to online events. Since the start of lockdown, she has delivered over 60 of these online events, ranging from 10 to 400 delegates per event. A round of applause, please, for Sophia Bell, Events Manager at Nationwide. Sophia has an incredible ability to take on any project, regardless of complexity or turnaround time, with the same degree of dedication, determination, focus, and always a sense of adventure. She has a natural ability to bring people together, to make sure people feel heard, and to gain buy-in. That is everyone in the room, and now we will turn to our online audience. So unfortunately, the technology doesn't exist where they can reach out of the screen and be in the room with us. But what I'm going to ask, if we can bring our online audience up onto the screen. Give us all a wave, everybody. Very good, marvellous. You're all zoomed. You're all on mute. It's very unusual. Is anyone in a coffee shop? No? That's the worst. All those clanging cups and all of that. Good stuff. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to read off our online audience's names, and I'm going to ask for a round of applause for each one. And when I call your name out, guys, just give us a wave or, whatever it is you would normally do to celebrate such an occasion. But keep it clean. I think we're recording it. Okay, so first of all, a round of applause, please, for Callum Clark, who's inside government, part of GovNet. Woo! Next up, a round of applause, please, for Emily Stanton from MCI UK. Next, a round of applause, please, for Emily Hume from Make Events. Your boss, Holly, has been tweeting in my pocket now. It's going off all the time. Make Events, just keep tweeting us. Just tell her to give me 5 minutes rest, please. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Harriet Gisborne, KVA Digital. A round of applause, please, for Isabel Toussaint, Strata Creative Communications. Next, a round of applause, please, for Jessica Bishop, Event Project Manager at Bray Leno Events. This is like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when they call out the names of the contestants at the start and they just sit there waving. We're going to get used to this. Honestly, we will. Next up, a round of applause, please, for DMG Events, Joshua Green. And a round of applause also for another man called Josh. Josh King, EMC3, Head of Business Development. Okay, next, a round of applause, please, for Olivia Unsworth, Senior Events Manager at Venues and Events International. Is Olivia there? There you are. Sorry, I can't see the way, so I've got to look that way. Okay, where are we? I keep doing it. Look away, I lose my place on the page. Oh, here we go. Ryan Law, Pico in Creative. A round of applause, please, for Ryan. Next up, a round of applause, please, for Robert Shane from Freeman and RC Squared. Next, a round of applause, please, for Scott Irwin, Investors in People. Is there a Scott there? We've lost one. Goodness me, that's throwing the branding all out, the CN29. Okay, next up, a round of applause, please, for Sunny Sethi from Health Careers Live, the Explosive Group, who is the director. Well done, Sunny. A round of applause, please, for Tom Burns, Vlogger Events Event Director. And the handwritten one. Sorry, Dan, I just can't read the writing. I'm going to have to go back. And last but by no means least, a round of applause, please, for Lauren Stanislas, Project Coordinator at Aspect Communications. And that, I do believe, brings us to a conclusion. Now, there will be details of everyone's achievements following very shortly on the CN30 Under 30 website. We'll make sure you have all the correct links as well. And of course, we will be, no doubt, doing some manner of online content as well. We might even see if we can squeeze you into a print issue as well. We're delivering the next one to government. So if you really, really want to get in front of your local MP, then that's probably the opportunity. Guys, I'm going to bring it to a conclusion there, but my heartfelt congratulations to absolutely all of you in the room and online. This has obviously been a fantastic event relative to the circumstances, but I assure you we will going to be engaging with you a lot over the coming 12 months. Big congratulations to you all. One more round of applause for the CN30 Under 30 class of 2020.